Hello, so this question is maximum value after insertion. Yeah, you can read over the introduction. So I'm just jump into the example and explain my description or solution in my own word. All right, so you are given the n as a string and an integer as x, right? And it can be positive or negative. Okay, so you want to insert the x into the string that will return the maximum value after the insertion. So this example is not good. All right, so let me make it make one. So 1, 3, 4. Hold on, 2 in the beginning. So 2, 1, 3, 4. That will be represented. All right, how about my x? My x can be represent any number between 0 to 9, right? Let me say 5. Alright, I would say 5, and then I will make another one for 0. Alright, so let's look at this. Alright, if x equal to 5, right, the value that if you want to insert into the n is going to be 52134, right? This is definitely, a common sense if you want to insert x into the n, right? But how do we actually know this? We actually, we have to look at the string n starting from the beginning, starting from the index 0. And then I want to make sure is the current string is a positive or negative. So this is definitely a default, the default constraint. If the string is positive, all right, I have one way to solve it. If the string is negative, I have another way. All right, so if a string is positive at index 0, and I want to make sure the current value I'm going to represent b. If a current value is less than x, I'm going to place x at index 0. So I'm going to insert x at index 0, and I would still remain the same whatever I have for the n. Right, so this will be the positive value, right? Maybe I can make a symbol for 0. So what? No, this follows now. Right, when x equal to 0, so the largest value you can get is what? 2, 1, 3, 4, 0, right? So again, you're still going to traverse from the beginning, and you want to compare the current value with the x. If a current value is less than the x, you want to insert. If not, you want to keep going, and until the end. And if you cannot find it, that's fine, but you still have to insert your value at the end of the string. Right, this is the x equal to 0 example. Right, so let's look at this. When n equal to negative 13 and x equal to 2, right? So the first thing is we want to determine if a value is positive or negative. We got a negative value. Alright, so if a value is negative, I want to make sure the current value that I traverse, the index, the v has to be what? V has to be greater, right? V has to be greater than x. So 2 as x, and then v as what? V is 1, so 1 right here. 1 and 2, 1 greater than x? No. So I move on to 3. Does 3 greater than 2? Yes. So I want to replace. So I'm going to still remain negative 1 over here. So I want to replace 2 between 1 and 3. So I'm returning this. It might not be easy to actually think about this. So let me start coding. So in this question, I'm traversing from the beginning all the way to the end. Alright, so again, if the value is positive at index 0, is positive, so it's not equal to negative, so it's not equal to negative. And a star chart at I minus 0, so it's going to be represent an integer, right? It's less than x. I'm going to just replace whatever I have. So it's going to end that substring 0 to I plus x, and I want to still keep whatever I have for n, right? So it's going to be this. This will be positive. How about negative? Negative will be what? At least our chart at 0 is going to be negative, and the value that I'm traversing, I, so minus 0, is what? It is greater than x. I want to do the exactly same thing. Alright, so if not, it's going to be easy. So whatever I have, n plus x. So this is the last scenario, like you traverse until the end and you still cannot find it, and then you want to put an x at the end. Alright, let me run it. S, okay, come on. Okay, cool. You probably noticed that I have repeated this line, right? So what you can do is using an OR. Cool. So time and space. Space is constant. Time is, this is all of n, and this will just one time only if you want to return. So I would still say like the time is all of n, and then don't worry about this. Like you will execute one time only. So this will be the solution. So if you have a question, leave a comment, and I will see you next time. Bye.